Sony officially did it. They finally turned your gaming setup into a landlord-tenant dispute. We are officially in the "you will own nothing and you will like it" DLC. And honestly, it is a literal punch to the throat for anyone who actually enjoys owning their stuff. It is February 2026 and the PlayStation Flex lease rollout for £10 marks the day gaming died. We are not gamers anymore, guys. We are tenants in Sony's digital housing project. This is complete nonsense, and I am going to show you exactly how Sony is trying to screw you over without even offering a voucher code. If I were an AI, I'd probably sound a lot more polished and a lot less like a person who's on their third take of this intro. Let us start at the finish line because that is where the real pain waits. Imagine it is 2029. You have been paying £18.95 every month like a loyal subscriber, like someone who keeps the account clean. Month after month, you have dropped nearly £700 over 3 years. The PS6 is being teased. You look at your PS5 Pro and think, maybe I will sell this on eBay for £250 to fund the upgrade. No, you cannot. You do not own it. The Flex agreement ends and Sony sends a digital repo agent to your house. Not a person at the door, but a switch in the system. You either pay a keep it fee, which at that point feels like ransom, or you pack it into a box and mail it back like a used library book with no argument and no leverage. You have zero equity. You spent 3 years paying for a piece of plastic, and at the end of the day you have nothing to show for it but a thanks for playing email. There was a comment on a games forum that captured it perfectly. A user wrote that he bought a SNES decades ago and still owns it today, still can hold it, still can boot it up. Now, in 2026, Sony wants him to lease a console that can be remotely bricked the moment he misses a payment because his car insurance increased. That is not progress. That is regression. We are paying a 65% ownership tax just for the convenience of being broke, just for the convenience of not saving first. If you do the math and Sony is counting on you not doing it, you are paying far more for the privilege of owning nothing. It is a car note for a toy. A car note for a box that plays Spider-Man. Why are they doing this? Because they know the economy in 2026 is a crater. Inflation crushed savings. Dropping £700 on a PS5 Pro feels impossible for many people right now. So, Sony swoops in like a helpful vulture and says, do not worry about the huge price tag, do not worry about the full cost, not today. Just give us £16 or £18 a month. It is less than a pizza. It is the buy now, pay later model. It is predatory. They pitch it as accessibility, but it is a broke tax dressed up and sold with a smile. One tech commentator wrote that Flex is not for gamers, it is for shareholders who want predictable recurring revenue, the kind that looks clean on a chart. They do not want your £700 once. They want your £20 every month, for as long as possible, for as long as you keep breathing and paying. They are turning customers into livestock. That is the core truth. When you buy a console, you are a customer. When you lease a console, you are a subscriber. Customers can leave. Subscribers are locked in, locked by autopay, locked by habit, locked by fear of losing access. If you stop paying the hardware lease, what happens to that digital library you spent thousands on? Do you think they will let you access your games without approved leased hardware, without their terms being met? Think again. Now here is the part that raises my blood pressure. Sony claims this is eco-friendly. They say they recycle the tech when you return it. They say it reduces waste. They say it helps the planet. Translation: they want your perfectly good refurbished console, so they can lease it to someone else for another £15 a month, and then again and again. They are not saving trees. They are double dipping. They are selling the same hardware 3 times over. It is an infinite money glitch designed for corporations funded by your monthly payment. Consider the resale market. It keeps gaming affordable. You buy the new console, sell the old one, and bridge the gap. That is how people survive price jumps. Flex destroys that. It deletes the secondary market. If everyone leases, there are no used consoles on eBay. There are no trade-ins at GameStop. Sony controls the entire life cycle, the start, the middle, the end. It becomes a closed loop where they hold every key and you hold the bill and the risk. A Discord user put it bluntly. Sony saw car companies charging subscriptions for heated seats and decided to copy the model because it worked, because people tolerated it. Today it is hardware. Tomorrow it could be 60 FPS mode, locked behind £2.99 a month for a setting your console can already run. It sounds absurd, yet once they control the hardware in your living room, they can dictate the terms and adjust them later. This part feels like a dystopian episode. To get a Flex lease, Sony works with Raylo and runs a credit check. A credit check to play video games, to press start, to unwind after work. Since when did gaming require a financial background review? We used to walk into a store, hand over cash, and leave with a box, simple, clean, final. Now if you missed a credit card payment years ago, a corporation might decide you are not worthy of playing the next God of War, not worthy of access, not worthy of the box. Your hobby is now tied to your FICO score. Today it is the console, tomorrow it is the controller. Soon you might finance DLC at 24% APR, because the model will already exist and the habit will already be formed. Someone wrote online that they wanted games to escape bill stress, and now the console itself is another bill, another direct debit, another reminder. There is no escape. That is the tragedy. It was meant to be entertainment, not obligation, not a payment plan. We are already drowning in subscriptions. Netflix, Disney, Spotify, Amazon Prime, PS Plus, Game Pass, and now even the plastic box requires a monthly payment like rent, like a utility. It is subscription fatigue amplified. They expect you to set it and forget it because forgetting is profit. That £18.95 disappears every month quietly, predictably, smoothly. 3 years later, you realize you paid for a console and own nothing, not even the right to resell it. This is the lifestyle lease. They want you to feel like you are upgrading every few years, like you are keeping pace, like you are modern. But you are trapped in a cycle of payments, one term rolling into the next, one device replacing another. It mirrors phone contracts where the device never truly becomes yours. You keep upgrading, keep paying, remain a member, yet never become an owner. A young gamer wrote that he leases his car, rents his apartment, subscribes to music, and now is expected to lease his PlayStation too. He feels like he owns nothing except his clothes, and even that feels temporary. That sentiment resonates. We are being pushed into a renter economy, where corporations own everything, and we pay for access, forever. Now consider the lifetime warranty pitch. They claim that as long as you pay for Flex, your console is covered, protected, safe. Of course it is. That cost is built into the monthly charge, baked in, hidden in the structure. If you buy a console, and it breaks after 12 months, you might pay for a repair. With a lease, you are guaranteed to pay for that repair across 36 months, whether it fails or not, whether you need it or not. They are selling peace of mind, at a premium. It resembles a protection racket. Nice console you have there, it would be unfortunate if something happened to it. For £18 a month they promise safety while collecting profit. Notice the timing. 36-month terms align almost perfectly with the expected PS6 launch, and that is not coincidence. In month 36 you face a decision. Pay a lump sum to keep an aging PS5 Pro, return it and have nothing. Or flex into a new PS6 for £22 a month and restart the clock. Most people will choose the third option. They will roll the debt forward, because the path is designed that way, because the pressure is built in. It becomes a planned obsolescence loop. Sony ensures continuous payment, generation after generation, without pause. From a business view, it is brilliant. From a gamer's view, it is corrosive. It transforms a hobby into a contract into a habit into a chain. Buy a PS5 Pro outright for £700. Sell it 3 years later for £250. Your net cost equals £450. Choose the Flex lease. Pay roughly £682 over 36 months. Return the console. Your net cost equals £682. You burn £232 for the convenience of not saving, for the convenience of immediate access. That covers several new games. That funds years of PS Plus. That money vanishes, and you cannot get it back. Sony is betting on impatience. They are weaponizing excitement for GTA 6 against your bank account, against your self-control. Congratulations, Sony. You turned a hobby into a car note. You transformed a meme about owning nothing into a corporate strategy. The only smiles belong to executives and finance officers celebrating recurring revenue, quarter after quarter. Reaction channels will flood timelines. Thumbnails will scream that Sony killed the PS5. For once, that headline might carry weight. They did not kill the hardware. They damaged the spirit of ownership, the simple act of buying and keeping. Some players say they will switch to PC. Building a PC costs more upfront, but no one can repossess a GPU for missing a hardware license payment. No one can flip a switch and take it away. Greed drives loyal fans away. Perhaps casual players will accept £16 a month and call it a bargain, because it feels small, because it feels easy. Yet for those who value ownership, this feels like betrayal, and it will not be forgotten. Months ago this idea sounded absurd. Console as a service seemed like satire. People believed ownership mattered too much. Now it is February 2026 and Flex is live and the joke is over. It began with digital-only consoles. We accepted that. Then always online requirements. We complained but complied. Then battle passes and microtransactions in single-player games. We groaned yet purchased them again and again. Each step tested tolerance. Each purchase signaled approval. Corporations pushed further because we allowed it, because we adapted. PlayStation Flex stands as the final boss. It represents corporate control in pure form. If leasing becomes normal, ownership fades, not only in gaming but everywhere, across every hobby, across every device. So decide. Will you become a Flex subscriber? Will you sign away £18 each month? Or will you recognize the true cost of convenience and refuse the deal? I know my answer. I will hold on to physical hardware until the disk drive fails, until it breaks, until it cannot spin. The day I rent my hobby marks the day I walk away. Sony, this strategy misreads your audience. Raylo, the model feels predatory. And to everyone listening, calculate the numbers, take 5 minutes, do the math. Do not become a subscriber for life. That is the end. I will leave before someone sends an invoice for the air used while speaking. Like, share, subscribe, or perhaps lease this message for £0.99 a month. Peace.